Welcome to the show. I am your host, Karan Pierre, the Objective Fan, and we're going to talk about some NBA stuff today on NBA Saturdays. Tell a friend we are live. It's going down. We got Luka Doncic. He's going to be out today, but the Charlotte Hornets went on the record and said that Luka, he's a whiner. Jonathan Kuminga recently asked to be on the trade block. Will he be up out of there before the deadline? Are there any suitors? And of course, the subject we're going to talk about today is Ja Morant. Is he cooked? Why is it that a guy of his magnitude was put on the trade block? No, it's only been a week, but reportedly we have teams who are not interested. We're going to talk about that and more on NBA Saturdays. So welcome to the show, man. I see you, Maxine, in the chat. Definitely, as the people pile in, make sure you guys smash that like button. I wanted to try something a little different, you know. I am officially the objective fan for this show. I am not the objective other fan, so I'm gonna try to stay as objective as possible. Um, I'm gonna start this off by let's just take a look at what's going on around the league and go from there. There was some games last night. The beautiful thing about the NBA is that there's games every night and there's always something to talk about. So let me let's make this adjustment. Uh Give me 2 seconds to get the browser on the screen. Hopefully y'all guys can see that. Let's see. Okay. I gotta tighten the window, but this is cool. So I'm gonna go to the NBA standings and so we can get an idea of what's going on around the league. As you come in, let's please pick out your team and who you rocking with. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get a lot of New York people up in the building. Salute to all the Knicks fans in the house. So last night we had a couple of games on. You had the Pelicans and the Pacers. Pacers got the W over the Pelicans, and this kid Jay Huff, man, very solid. I like Jay Huff. He blocked shots. He wasn't too efficient with the three ball, but definitely he's somebody who has been overachieving. To all my fantasy people, Jay Huff is available. He's a go. As far as Zion, he's playing, looking good, but the Pelicans still fell short. I know New Orleans, they put out that report saying that only a few guys would be traded, but honestly, I mean, as a franchise, what have you done? And then, of course, you got the Cleveland Cavaliers who barely beat the 76ers, okay? Joel Embiid looking like his old self. If you guys want to talk about Joel Embiid, we can. I mean, he, had 33 in this game, but this kid Tyson, 39 points. Tyson is for real. He's amongst my players to watch. In my 82 nights basketball system, I got him there as someone who he could defend, he can hit the open three, but he also has some, I would say he's a little he can also attack the basket if you need him to. Yep. So that was that game. As far as the Bulls and the Nets, I mean, two sorry teams. Of course, the Nets got the victory there. But the Bulls fell from grace. If there's any Chicago fans that's going to tap in the head, I'm curious to know why the Bulls fell from grace. They were a great team early on. They was like 6-1, hot out the gate. Josh Giddey was looking like the next Luka Doncic, and then all of a sudden, off the map. Brooklyn Nets get a win. The Clippers beat the Raptors. The Raptors are a team that we don't really know what to expect from them because, one, their differential isn't that high. I'll get to that in a second. But two, guys in and out of the lineup, trade rumors. Are there chemistry issues in Toronto? I don't know. But they take a bad loss to the Clippers, a team that's been struggling but has high goals as they wanted to win I believe they want to go 25 out of 10 in like a stretch of games because in their mathematics, they feel that they can still make the playoffs in the Western Conference. Good luck. But they are 5 games under 500, so that's a pretty good place to be because you can get there. I'm not sure about the playoffs, but you can get the 500. As far as the Rockets and the Timberwolves, Rockets get a win. Rockets and the Timberwolves are two teams that have been at the top of the West, but they had some ups and downs. Minnesota Timberwolves is reported to want to trade for a point guard, and the Rockets, they had some injuries. Sangoon was in and out of the lineup for them, and as they try to make KD work. But we could talk about KD too. Is KD? I don't want to be disrespectful because I love KD. I still feel like he's the greatest offensive weapon in basketball. But is KD really not a bus driver, as Charles Barkley would put it? Because the Rockets were the second seed last year. They felt like if they added KD, he would be enough to take them over the top. As far as the Kings and the Wizards, oh boy, Sacramento. All my New York people, oh man, we mad at Sacramento, boy. Sacramento, they've been on a winning streak. I told y'all they've been playing some good basketball, and they win another game. Even though it was against the lowly Wizards, they blew them out, 128-115. Russell Westbrook had 26 and 6. This team in Sacramento, like I said, based on paper before, they should be a lot better. But for whatever reason, they started out, I believe it was before they won the winning streak, I think they were 8-30. And now they improved to 12-30, winning 4 games in a row. So that's the games that took place last night. I'm not sure if you got a chance to watch any of those games. I didn't really watch much basketball yesterday, but I stay on top of my news and things of that nature. As far as the way the conferences is baked down, we could start in the Eastern Conference. Our beloved Knicks is the 3rd seed, right? Detroit Pistons number 1, Boston Celtics number 2, and Boston is a team. They're definitely a threat. Especially if they can make a move to maybe address an area that they feel they're weak at. You got to watch the Boston Celtics. And, of course, the Toronto Raptors, a team that I honestly don't really know how to feel about. 1.7 plus differential. That puts them at the 5th best differential in the conference right now. They've been holding on to that number 4 seed for a minute. But I'm gaining on you. The Orlando Magic. 23-18, they got their best player back, Franz Wagner, the Wagner brothers, and they got both Wagner brothers back. Orlando Magic are going to be dangerous. They're a team I could see Orlando rising to the number 3 spot in the East easily, but we'll keep an eye on them. I expect the Orlando Magic to go on a major run. Cavaliers, same thing. Cavaliers are playing better since they got all their guys back. I mean, I think they're still missing Strus. Let me just pull them up really quickly. I think they're still missing Strus. Let's see who played in this last game against Philly. I know this Tyson kid has been putting in work. They got him in the starting lineup. I'm not going to say rumors. There's been reports that Hunter wants out, right, of Cleveland. But we'll see. I think winning cures that all. I don't understand why they can't start Hunter. I understand the 6th man of the year thing, but I don't understand why they can't start him. He gives them the size they need. But, okay, so they didn't have Garland. Garland didn't play this game. Okay. All right. But I know they didn't have Strus for all season, and Garland didn't play this game. So, they're persevering. Cleveland is a team I felt like when they lose players and they go through adversity, they struggle. Oh, salute to my man BS10258. I see you in the building. He says Ja's style of play does not translate into winning. Yeah, I'm going to get into Ja in a second as well. We definitely going to talk about Ja Morant this morning. I'm going to take you through the whole timeline and give you exactly where we are with Memphis. And then I want to touch on why nobody wants to trade for him. So that's the Cleveland Cavaliers. I was just curious to see who was in their lineup. So they're doing better. You got to watch out for these Cavaliers, man. I'm telling you, you better watch out. My threats in the Eastern Conference, Orlando, Boston, Cleveland. Those 3 teams, I don't think, and even I might add Philly to the list. If Joel Embiid can be consistent, I'll add Joel Embiid to that list. But we'll see. As far as the 76ers, they're in that 7th spot, +1 differential. I need to see more from them. I don't know if they can consistently maintain a top 6 spot. We'll see. Miami Heat is a team, they need to trade bad, right? Ja Morant, recently they reported they were not interested. It is what it is. We'll get to that in a second. Atlanta Hawks made the Trae Young trade. I don't know. Not 100% on Atlanta. I need to see more games. I want to see at least like 10 more games, how they look without Ja before I make a determination there. And the Chicago Bulls, just a huge disappointment. I think Milwaukee will catch them and pass them. Hell, I think Charlotte might catch them and pass them. If Charlotte could get some health and consistency going. But Milwaukee, I got them in the play-in. Nothing beyond that, Giannis. So what are you going to do? We'll talk a little bit about Giannis too if you want. So that's the Eastern Conference. I'm going to get to the Western Conference. A little bit more exciting on the West. The Oklahoma City Thunder remain kings of the West. That plus 13.4 differential. Listen, they lost some games, right? But let me tell you something. They're now 8-2 in their last 10. That plus 13 differential still tells me that they are the best team undisputedly in the league. So big time salutes to the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think they're the best team. But will that translate to the playoffs? It should. San Antonio Spurs +5 differential. I was looking to see if they could get over a +6, but it seems like when Denver gets back, I think Denver, when they get back Jokic, I think Denver will be the second best. I think Denver's the second best team in the West. 100%. I think the Spurs could be top 3. Minnesota, number 4. I had Minnesota as a top 4 Western Conference team coming into the league. They need a point guard bad, and I think they could get a point guard not named Ja Morant, because they also, I think, reportedly are not interested in Ja. Houston Rockets 24-15. We got to see if KD could bring these guys over the hump. I know they don't got Fred VanVleet, so Fred VanVleet was supposed to be the guy who was supposed to be the stabilizer at the 1. And Reed Shepherd's doing a great job. Oh, my God. Yeah, Reed Shepherd downhill. He's like, to quote Doris Burke, for a guy who's so undersized, Doris Burke always used to say that about Brunson. He is really crafty, does a great job getting downhill. So that's where the Houston Rockets are. And then the Lakers are a team. I call them the Fakers. -0.4 differential. I don't care if Reeves is not there. Or I know Luka is out, like I said earlier, for today's game. But I'm telling you guys right now, that -0.4 differential, to me, shows me that I call them the Fakers. I don't got the Lakers finishing in the top 6 unless they make a trade. There's rumors that, hey, they could trade Reeves. There was some alleged rumors that LeBron wanted Reeves out. Not sure how true that is. But I think LeBron also denied that. They need to do something. Because the Luka, LeBron, Reeves lineup is not good defensively. Defensively, it's trash. They're not stopping nobody. And when Austin Reeves is your best defender on your team, yeah, I'm talking about analytics-wise, stats-wise, it's a problem. As far as the Phoenix Suns, 24-17, +2.6. Suns got a good team. I think the Suns could finish in the top 6. Now, Golden State will be, I think, their biggest competition. 23-19, +2.6. I don't know. Golden State, it's going to be between Golden State and Phoenix to see who gets in that top 6 spot. I got the Lakers falling out of there. All the other teams will stay. I got the Lakers out of that top 6. And Portland's a team up and down. Danny Avner just got hurt in the game against the Knicks. Not sure how much time he's going to miss. But Portland has the one of the worst lucks when injuries. And surprisingly, they're doing this well without their coach, Chauncey Billups. As far as the LA Clippers, I'm not talking about them. No reason to talk about them. That's all for my Western Conference discussion. Big time salute to my man Randall. Big time salute to my man BS 10258. He said Lakers are first round exit. Yeah, 100%. Lakers are first round exit because they're gonna they'll probably get that 7th seed, and they're gonna get San Antonio more than likely, or Denver. Depending on how long Jokic is out and how they respond, and hopefully they don't get no other injuries. I still think that even if Denver doesn't finish as the best, second best team in the West. They're my pick to be the second best team in the West. The Rockets still got to show me with KD. I'm giving them 10 games to show me something more. So yeah. So that's the standings breakdown. And then what I'll do, I'll jump into Ja Morant really quickly. I'm gonna go through a timeline of Ja to see how we got to where we are with Ja. You know, he's somebody who is a player who was highly regarded, second pick coming into the league, and now this brother is reportedly on the block. You know, is Ja Morant cooked? You know, why no one wants Ja? If we would have asked this question 3 years ago, I'm pretty sure he would have been traded by now. I'm pretty sure he would have been traded by now. And the fact that, you know, he is still Memphis Grizzly shows me that, hey, man, not a lot of people want to buy what they're selling. And this started last year, right? In March, April, when they fired Taylor Jenkins. Reportedly, he was upset with that. And he didn't like the new coach they brought in because the coach they brought in had this new system that he felt limited his offense. And then once we got to the season, early October, reports, been, you know, a lot of reports saying there's been rifts between him, staff, and this signal relations that that he still hadn't recovered from a lot of the controversies on the off season. Like I said, him initially not being happy that they let his man Taylor Jenkins go. And so a lot of times star players, this is why I say, usually they hold weight, right? And when the organization start making moves that go against what those star players desire, they become disgruntled, right? Usually they try to make the star. It doesn't always have to go that way, and usually that's why people are fired or traded. But once this happens, it becomes a wedge that's going to be hard to recover from, right? Now, of course, we got a lot of you guys remember early November some of the stuff that he said, some of the antics in the press. You know, when asked about what went wrong with his performance, he said, "Go ask the coaching staff," right? And according to them, probably don't play me honestly. That's basically the message. That's what the message was after. These are some of the comments that he made publicly. And then he would have these snarky replies. Y'all ask the questions to them, huh? So y'all know the answer to that. And that's true. Like, I'm not a journalist. I don't consider myself a journalist. I say I'm a fan moonlighting as a journalist. But I'm going to say a lot of what we have today in journalism is questions for clickbait or not just clickbait, but just titles that can rope people in for content. So I'm going to ask you this question so you can say this remark, and then we're going to put it in a big headline in our news publication to get clicks and views. That's what they do. So a lot of times these questions, that's why he's like, yeah, you guys know the answer, right? And definitely this was what led to his suspension. He was suspended by the Grizzlies for conduct detrimental to the team because they didn't like the way he replied. And usually when you listen to NBA players, they always give you the cap response, right? They always going to tell you, oh, it was great and I love it and coach is the best. That's all NBA talk. I think the NBA has some of the best media training out of any other league. So usually when you hear a player go kind of AWOL with it, is because he's frustrated and he wants out. That's a signal that I need to get up out of here. So once the team also suspends you for detrimental conduct, yeah, get ready to pack your bags, right? And he also admitted that he lost his joy playing for this team. And yeah, it's time to get up out of here. So that's when, you know, the trade chatter began. So, you know, they were shopping him, I think probably earlier than the December. But you know, December is when it really began, when you started to see some of the reports and people saying, oh, they got to trade Ja. And of course, Desmond Bane, you know, he made some comments, him being a former Grizzly himself. And he said, you wrap your arms around anybody that's got that type of spotlight or anything like that going on with him. Ja just wants to play basketball in a place where he feels valued. And hopefully it doesn't happen. If it doesn't happen in Memphis, he gets that wherever his next stop is. That's what Bane had to say about that. And then also the growing rift between his teammates. Right now, of course, we don't really know exactly which teammates it is because, NBA, they're definitely media trained. But according to Shams, right, teams across the league are monitoring this, keeping the eye on the relationship with Ja Morant and the Grizzlies. He's a cornerstone player. And yeah, I mean, that's when teams are monitoring. But here's the problem. And I don't think, I'm just going to answer the question to myself. I don't think that Ja Morant is cooked. I don't think that. I think that his health, I think he's kind of injury prone. He doesn't hold up that well. And if we could go into research mode and we could look at how many games he's been playing, and that's what I would be concerned about if I'm trading for Ja Morant, because already the Grizzlies kind of directly or indirectly dropped his value, because now if I'm a franchise, I'm not going to pay top dollar for Ja Morant. I'm not. But this is right here. He started off the first 2 years, 67, 63 games. That's great. But then 57, 61, 9, 50, 18. Now, some of these were suspensions. He has gotten his fair share of suspension. But at the same time, when you look in the last 3 years, is this someone you're willing to trade for first-round picks and whatever other players you need to give up to get him? Yeah, I don't know about that. So when this came out, and then I'm going to open up the phone lines as well so we could get some cool NBA folks, Knicks folks, whoever you are, to call in. But when you look at the article, when you start seeing stuff like this, Houston, we have a problem. Because what the Memphis Grizzlies are going to get back, not going to be for the asking price. Miami Heat are taking a measured approach. Recent reports suggested that the Miami Heat are not pushing hard for Morant. League insiders describe Miami's stance as cautious rather than aggressive. The organization wants to protect long-term flexibility instead of absorbing another massive contract. Now, let me tell you something. In NBA talk, remember, you're dealing with a league that is professional, all right? That's basically them saying, we don't want you. It's either your asking price is too damn high, all right? Or we just don't, we see the stats, we see the contract, we're like, I don't know if we trust them like that. I'm going to get to the phone lines after these messages.
Real question. Do you actually know basketball, or do you just watch it? Because most fans watch games and talk, but they're not breaking anything down. No tracking, no documentation, no real analysis, just reactions and baseless opinions. 82 Nights changes that, though. Over 200 pages to analyze what you're watching, track rotations, break down patterns, highlight players, take actual notes. That's how you go from someone who watches to someone who knows. That's how you're...
All right. I cut it short, but yeah, definitely go to the link tree. 82 Nights, the official basketball intelligence system. You can go check it out there. Everything I got, if you want to support, if you're feeling the show, first time here, or you've been here all the time, definitely go check out that link tree and, get your copy now. Big time salute to everybody in the building. NBA Saturdays, this is the first of many. We're trying out the morning slot, but we'll be back trying out different times. But yeah, NBA Saturdays is going to be a new show that we do. This is kind of like a pilot test show. And just want to see how it looks on the morning time. See if you guys are down to talk about some Knicks stuff. I mean, some NBA stuff, not just Knicks stuff. Bam, 646-995-8389. Call up. Want to talk about Ja. We could talk about Giannis. We could talk about Luka. The Hornets called him a whiner after that game. What's going on in LA, man? It's looking really, really bad. Really, really bad in LA. When you're getting cooked by the Hornets, yeah. I know. I think OKC also got cooked by the Hornets, but OKC, that's one game. The Lakers been getting cooked by everybody. Sacramento, I mean, all those teams are getting wins on him. Eric Collins, I think he's the he does the play-by-play for the Hornets. He said Eric Collins, he's sick of Luka. This guy is a whiner. Now, you know something funny, right? And I said this before. For some reason, certain players in the NBA, they get a certain stigma versus other players, right? And it's not just a race thing. It's not, but it's just personality. Some guys, they bark at the refs. But when other players do it, it's like, he cries. Oh, he cried. But this Luka is one of the biggest crybabies I've ever seen. He cries to the refs as much as anybody in the league. Okay? But people rarely talk about it. So I'm glad this brother put Luka on Front Street. He's a whiner. What do you think about Luka, guys? Do you think Luka is going to finish in the 65 game count? He's going to qualify for that, for the awards? I don't know. I don't know if he is. Let's see. I want to see how many games he missed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Listen, man. He only got like 7 more games, man. He only got like 7 more games he could miss. And that's it. So, Luka, we got to see something, but I'm not trying to blame Luka for this because to all my New York people, y'all know that I say with Brunson, and I said this last night. Some of y'all may not know this. And I might have said it before, but like I think the problem with the Knicks is that we didn't build a team around Jalen Brunson. The team was not built around Jalen Brunson. It wasn't. Once we did the Karl-Anthony Towns trade, we went and got the best name we could possibly get. We didn't get the name that possibly would be the best fit. Now, I'm not saying we can't win with Towns, but the Lakers are in the process of building the team around Luka. That's why everyone is up for sale, except LeBron because he can't be traded. Let me look into the chat. Tony Johnson said in Miami, I'm not giving them a first round pick. Yeah, that's facts. If I'm Miami, I don't think I trade Tyler Hero for Ja Morant. And Tyler Hero has been hurt just as much as Ja, if not more. I don't think I would give up Tyler Hero for Ja Morant. I feel like Tyler Hero is better for Miami than Ja Morant, to be honest. Now, some of y'all might say I'm off base. Call up and let me know. 646-995-8389. We talking about the NBA in the morning. Oh, let me get my headphones on. Just in case we do get a call. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I'm trading Tyler Hero for Ja Morant. Because Tyler Hero's bigger, you know what I'm saying? Like Ja might be the better player, okay? But I don't know. I like what Tyler Hero does too. Tyler Hero is no slouch. He's no slouch. Trust me. He's a problem. He may not have the flashiness as Ja, but I'm not doing it. Now, if I am Miami and I think Ja Morant is better than Tyler Hero, that would be my offer. Let me see. Let me see what the curious to see what the market value is on that. Let me see. Let's go to Sports Track and see what the numbers are looking like. When a team says they don't want to take on your salary, they don't want you, bro. because they're gonna take on Giannis' salary. They don't want that salary. Hero makes 31 million. So it would have to be Hero, and let me see how much Ja makes. Let me see how much Ja makes. I need the exact amount. And then we'll look at it from how much more money. Okay, oh, that's easy. That's easy work. 39 million? Ja make 39 million? That's not, damn, they really don't want you. Damn, they really don't want you. 39 million is not a lot to get the deal done. Now, I don't know what the upside to the contract is. Let me see what the upside is really quickly before I say that, because the upside might be crazy. Hold on. Starts out at 39, then it goes to 62. Let's see. Nah, his contract is not that. Ja Morant's contract is not that bad, bro. OG Anunoby gets this $40 million a year. Not a bad contract. Not a bad contract at all. So Ja Morant doesn't have a bad contract for his level of talent, and the Miami Heat is saying, we're not. We want to be, we're going to take a cautious approach. Yeah. We're not giving up Tyler Hero. We believe in Tyler Hero. Let's look at what his salary looks like. Let's see. Oh, and look at his salary, man. Tyler Hero making way less money. So they definitely, so the money does have a part to play, but it ain't that much money. It's only, we're talking about like $7-8 million. But then, of course, Ja has a longer duration on his contract. So if you're Miami and you want to pivot, it's going to be a lot harder because you're not going to be able to move Ja. But they could get it done. Like, they could do Hero and maybe okay, hold up. If I'm Miami, I would do Fontecchio and Rozier, because I know they were talking about, the NBA were talking about whether or not Miami could trade Rozier's contract. I would say Memphis, if you take Terry Rozier's contract and Fontecchio, we could get it done. Let's put it in the trade machine to see if we could do it. Let's put it in the trade machine. Let's see if we can do this deal. Cause oh man, that's kind of interesting, man. That's kind of interesting. So if I could do Ja Morant, right? Let's add him to the deal. Hold on, I know what I gotta do. Let me go back. I gotta add both teams. Where's Miami? Miami's there. Okay, cool. Bam. So now I'm gonna do Fontecchio. We're gonna send him to Memphis, and then we're gonna do my man Terry Rozier. We're gonna do my man Terry Rozier. Okay? And then I'm gonna go to Memphis now. And then you give me Ja Morant. Trade successful. Wait, hold on. No, not Jackson. Hold up. Whoa. Not Jackson. No. Ja Morant. Let's see. Trade successful. Memphis must waive one player. That's it. So they could waive somebody, and let's see who they got. Damn, Memphis can't waive nobody. If I'm Miami, do I want Pope? Would Pope be an upgrade for me? I don't know. Would I take Pope in a deal too? Let's see. What I got on Miami. Now, Miami don't got much salary. Miami don't got much salary, so they only got Terry Rozier. Listen, if I'm Pat Riley, yo man, you want me to take Ja Morant? I got a package for you. Terry Rozier and Simone Fontecchio. How many of you guys is doing that? You think the Memphis Grizzlies gonna do that? Hell no. Yeah, so they gonna have a hard time trading Ja Morant. Let me take a peek in the comments. He said Kings could make a move for Ja. Kings definitely. Let's pull up the Kings. Kings definitely could make a move for Ja. 100%. Let's go back. Let's do Memphis. Let's do Sacramento. Sac Towns where they bring they Mac down. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's see what we let's see what we could put up. Oh no, I don't want the Heat too. How do I get rid of oh hold on, let me go back. Let me get rid of the Heat. Let me get rid of Miami. I don't need Miami. Why is Miami there? I don't need Miami. Let's see if this okay, bet. So let's look at Sacramento. You got Sabonis, 44. He's not traded. They're not trading. All right. So DeRozan, Sabonis, Levine. I don't see them trading those three guys. Now, Malik Monk. Okay, hold up. Hold up. You got Malik Monk. Keegan Murray, I don't think they're going to move Keegan. They don't got a lot of guys with salary either. Let's see if we could so you know what I want to see before we put this together? I want to see where Sacramento is as far as aprons is concerned. Let's see where they are as far as aprons is concerned. Let's see how much space. So that they over the cap. So that means that they would have to trade within the 125% of the value. Okay. So they got to do 125%. So let's go back. And Memphis, what is Memphis? Well, Memphis ain't going to be taking the salary anyway, so it doesn't even matter. But unless they had salary to dump on Memphis. See, Miami has salary to dump on Memphis, but they still above the cap. So that means anytime two teams are above the cap. By the way, let me put this back in research mode. My bad, y'all. Anytime a team is above the cap, like you see this right here, that means that they can only trade within 125%. They could take back more salary, but up to 125% more salary. Okay, so now we got to be careful. So we're going to add Ja Morant to the deal. All right, and then we're going to go to Sacktown. Like I said, I don't think, based on the way they're playing, I don't think DeMar DeRozan, Sabonis, or Levine, I don't think they want to trade those guys. Unless they're going to get somebody way better. I don't think Ja Morant is right now. He could be way better, but right now, the way it looks, the optics of it, he is not way better than those guys. So Ja Morant, we already know we're playing with $39 million, $40 million. So we got to get it within 125% of $40 million. Let's see if we could do it. Now, Dennis Schroeder is somebody who I would consider a Ja Morant an upgrade to, though I do like Schroeder, and he's a great valued veteran. I think he has to be in the deal. Now, I know they don't want to trade Keegan Murray, right? So he's not going to be on the list. Oh, you know what I should check out? Let's see what exceptions Sacramento has. Because if they have some exceptions, that can also be used to offset value in the deal. Let's see. End of season. Oh, this taxpayer. Let's see. Trade. Okay. They got about $10 million in exceptions. So that means we could get to $31 million. We got to get to like maybe 20-something million dollars. So let's see. Let's see something. So, damn, it would have to be Monk. I know they don't want to give up Monk, but this would make it a successful deal. If they traded Monk and Schroeder, they could get Ja Morant. How many of you guys would do that? How many of you guys would do that? Let's see, picks. Sacramento they got all 8 first-round picks for the next 2 years. If I'm for a minute, Sacramento ain't trading none of their picks. If I'm Sacramento, I ain't gonna lie. I know you got these veterans on your team, but I'm tanking if I'm Sacramento. I'm tanking. I don't know why you want to win games. For what? You're not going to do nothing. Light the beam. That's whack. What are we talking about? By the way, if you want to call up and talk to me about this, 646-995-8389, call up, voice your opinion. Let me tell you something. I'm not feeling it, y'all. I'm not feeling it. I'm not. I'm not. If I'm Sacramento, shoot, I might could get AJ or Cam Boozer or something like that in the draft. What's the kid, Peterson? I don't know. What is Sacramento trying to do though? Like, what's the goal? Like, you won 4 in a row. Like, you're really messing up your draft chances, man. They won 4 in a row. You got a -10 differential. That's the worst, well, second worst in the league behind Washington. They actually had the worst before they went on this 4-game winning streak. Like, what are we doing? We really trying to win right now? Sacramento tripping, dog. This is a classic case of you just messing up yourself. Now, unless you think you could pull a Dallas, right? Get to the play-in and still get the first pick. Maybe. I don't know if the league is rigged like that. Well, what are these guys doing? But that's the Ja Morant Quagmire is like, if I'm one of these teams, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm Sacramento, I'm like, all right, these two guys, well, not Schroeder. Schroeder was not in trade reports, by the way. Hopefully, hold on, let me move it up so you can see it a little better. See, the trade was successful. But Schroeder was not in trade proposals, trade rumors. I don't think Sacramento wants to trade him. But hey, you got to look at it. If you're getting Ja Morant and we think that he's not, I don't think Ja Morant is cooked. I don't. I just think that he needs to have certain elements around him. And maybe these big guards, big wings, and DeRozan and Levine could help him. Only thing is you lose Malik Monk, who was kind of your sixth man, but you still got DeRozan, Levine, and Sabonis with Ja Morant? Man, but does Memphis say, I don't want this deal? Now, if Sacramento really wants Ja, also, I keep forgetting Russell Westbrook. I don't want to disrespect this brother. He's having a really good season. What happens to Russ? Is Russ going to go off the bench? I don't know, man. It just seems like, it's weird. Yeah. Any other teams? I don't know. Oh, snap. Zach says Memphis would take it. Sacramento wouldn't. Damn. We got to that level? Zach said Precious. Precious is putting in that work. Precious can't be traded till February, though. Right before the deadline. He can't be traded right before the deadline because he signed later in the season after he was waived by Miami. Yeah, he got waived by Miami. Any other trades? Any other teams? Let me see some. Do I got the list of teams that wanted Ja or was rumored to be interested? I don't think I got that on here. But how many teams need point guards? Like, when we really think about it, most teams are pretty good at the one spot. Like, maybe Houston, but I don't think Houston wants to trade their core for Ja Morant. Y'all want to look at Houston? I don't know if Houston wants to do that. I'm gonna keep it real. I don't think Houston wants to give up their core. I think Houston is hard capped at one of them aprons. Hold on. I think they hard capped at the first apron. Let's see. Yeah, they are. They hard capped at the first apron. So what that means is they got to be careful. They can't take on. There's certain restrictions that they can't do. So they only got $1 million in space to play with. Okay. So they can only take in 1 million more in salary if they get close to that, no, period. They can only take in 1 million and more. So that's going to make the trade a little harder for Houston. But, hold on, I clicked on the wrong thing. But let's play around with it. Let's see what we get. Let's see if we could refresh this. All right, so let's do it. Let's go Memphis again. Memphis Grizzlies and the Houston Rockets. Let's see if we could get a deal out of this. As far as the Houston Rockets are concerned, ooh, okay, hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Does Houston say bye-bye to Fred VanVleet? Let's see. When can he be traded? He can't be traded right now. Hold on. Why can't oh, he can veto the trade. Oh, yeah, you're not trading Fred VanVleet. That's right. He can veto the trade. He has veto trade powers. Oh, okay. So you would have to convince Fred to go to Memphis. I don't know if you're gonna be able to do that. I don't know, y'all. Hold up. Cause if you could have just traded Fred, man, because he got the player option. I think because he signed a 1-year deal or something like that. There's a rule when you sign 1 year, then you get a no trade clause. Or it's not really a no trade clause. It's the fact that you can veto a. So like if they throw you in a trade, you could decline it. So it's kind of like a no trade, but it's not technically a no trade. It's just veto powers. You have the powers to veto a trade. So which is like a no trade clause. Anyway, nonetheless, I'm just telling you what they call it. He would have been perfect. If you would have put Fred VanVleet and maybe I don't know how much they love Finley Smith, but if you would have did that, if you would have put Finley up in there, let's say you could have did that, and let's go to Memphis and put Ja. Oh, it still fails. Ooh, damn. See, the wiggle room is so tight, so tight. You got to add another player. I don't know who this Jamal Mashback is. No disrespect to you, brother. I just hadn't really seen you. Let's see, Jamal. Where's he at? Jamal Mashback. Where's this guy at? Why is he not on the list? Look, let me go. Oh, he's a two-way. That's why. Okay. Let me get out of the two-way. No. If I could trade, I don't know. I do got a caller. Hello, caller. State your name. Where you calling from?
It's Moses, man.
How's it going, Moses? Hold on. Let me make sure you can hear me clearly. How's it going, brother?
Yeah, I'm good.
So what's your thoughts? We talking about Ja Morant. We talking about all types of stuff, man. Luka, where you at with this conversation on the NBA Saturdays?
No, thank you very much. I don't think we need Ja Morant, bro.
No. This is not. No. This is not a Knicks show. This is like where should he go? Is Ja? All right, let's start there. Is Ja Morant cooked?
Mm-hmm.
He's cooked.
That's what it sounds like to me, because I don't think any other teams. It's gonna be hard for other teams to try to get him. Really.
No, I mean it's not hard to get him. It's the fact that you don't want to trade your good players to get him. You don't want to trade draft picks. You know what I'm saying? Because of his health. One, I think that's the number one thing teams are looking at too. But also, Memphis is in a desperate position. Anytime you're in a desperate position, that means you lose leverage. Mm-hmm. So because of that, I don't know. But so you don't think there's a market for Ja? So what happens with Ja? He stays in Memphis. Do they right the ship?
What it sounds like, they might ride the shift. They might ride it, but I don't, because I'm hearing that no other teams may want Ja Morant right now. You know what I'm saying? But you never know. Right. Anything can happen, because I'm not inside behind closed doors knowing what's going on.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I know definitely the Knicks don't want him.
Hell nah. Yeah, I ain't doing that. Nah, hell no. Now, maybe 3 years ago, before we got Brunson or something like that, maybe. But yeah, right now, there's no reason for the Knicks to get him.
If he's injury prone, and then he had some other situation.
Yeah, but off the court, we got to give the man grace. He's young. He seems to have corrected his off the court issues. Right now, he has issues with the Grizzlies, direct issues with the Grizzlies. And so because of that and his health, it makes the marketplace shrink. or we're gonna give you guys like I had a deal for Miami, right? Where they give up Terry Rozier and Fontecchio for Ja Morant. If I'm Miami, I think I would do that deal.
Right,
Screw it.
but does he want to go there though? You see, this is
No,
another thing.
he don't got no rights. Okay, so where he's at right now is he's not happy in Memphis. So wherever you go, man, you better revel in it, because there is not going to be a perfect situation. Because the teams that really would need you, they don't want to trade their value for you. Like Houston right now, right? Houston could do a trade right now, but they can't because Fred VanVleet will veto the trade. Fred VanVleet has a no trade clause, but they could have literally did this for Ja Morant. Fred VanVleet, Dorian Finney-Smith, and one of these young guys they got here who I don't know, somebody with $2 million. Let's say Josh Okogie. Let's add him to the deal, and boom, it should work now. Bam. Right? Now all you got to do is this. Houston needs to add players. That's all they would have to do. They would have to get some players in there, and let's see how much money they would have. How much players they would have? Oh no, the players too. Oh no, Houston couldn't do it because they're hard capped at the first apron. So yeah, they wouldn't be able to do the deal. No. So that you get a lot of that. Like there's teams that could use them, but they can't do the deal because it requires too much for him. So,
I mean, of course, you got to look at it like that. Like if your value is going down, it's gonna make it hard for teams to want to get you. You know
exactly. And
so,
and just the the economics and politics of basketball, of what you can do and what you can't do. Even in like if you play NBA 2K and you try to make trades in there, I mean, there's all types of restrictions. Even in a video game, it'll be hard to trade Ja Morant, this season. So they might have to hold him till next season, man. Hold him to next season,
bro.
wait for the draft.
I don't really care what's going on with Ja Morant, bro. I just care about my team going far, bro. That's what I care about right now. But
okay, so give me one Knicks take before you get up out of here. What you want to say about the Knicks,
bro? I think they're in a bad situation right now due to injuries, of Brunson and all that. But I mean, I think they'll find a way to bounce back, and I'm hearing is Cat a good fit for this team? I do not know, man. I don't know because
wow.
I don't know because it sounds like Brown is trying to get Towns out of his comfort zone. What's your thoughts on that? Because I'm not saying get rid of Mike Brown, but what I'm saying is I don't know if running, pushing the ball up the court is Towns' game.
Yeah.
Versus when before we made the trade to get him, the roster we had was built for that. You understand? And I remember before unfortunately, I'm sorry to bring that up. Unfortunately, before we got Towns here, when we had Julius here, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that game versus the Brooklyn Nets when they was down like 15 and they came back and won that game. What happened was Julius was quick at running up the court. You understand? When Brunson passed him the ball, I think it was Brunson that gave him the call at the other end, gave him the ball at the other end. He just came for that fast break dunk.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, I don't know what's gonna happen this year with the playoff, but if it's not working out with Cat here, then I think they may have to make some move. As much as I'm not saying I hate him, but you got to do what's best for the team. You know what I mean?
Bingo.
Like to me, I would say, what's your thoughts about? Damn, they over the cap space too. That's a problem.
There you go.
So you got it. Somebody's gonna have to. Whose contract gonna expire this summer?
Mitchell Robinson. And that's another whole discussion. But Moses, I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, one last thing. Let me say this one last thing.
Go ahead.
They should try to ask Mitch, does he want to stay here or go? Because the crazy thing is they don't want to. Mitch to pull a Hartenstein, like what Hartenstein did.
No, it's two different scenarios.
Like they don't want to lose him for nothing. So
Yeah,
also they
no,
was
but
thinking about
no. The difference is they offered Hartenstein 4 years, $72 million. OKC offered him more money. In
right.
terms of Mitchell Robinson, we can offer Mitch the most money. Nobody can offer Mitch more money than us. So it would be a different scenario. It's whether or not we want to pay Mitchell Robinson that much money. But thank you, Moses. I appreciate it, man.
Yo. One thing,
We'll talk
keep
to.
your eye open. One last thing I'm gonna say: keep your eye open.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who might end back up in New York?
Please don't say Dante DiVincenzo.
No. Precious Pachulia.
Nah, it's not happening. Not happening.
Yeah,
I'll talk to you. We'll talk later. Tonight. By the way, for all my Knicks people, I'll be back tonight. We got a post-game show against Phoenix. But yeah, Precious is not coming back to New York. It's not happening. Because I don't know what the hell Sacramento is doing. Like, are they trying to tank? I don't know. Like, do they really think they could make the playoffs at 12-30? Like, they think they're going to go on a run like that? If I am them, I'm tanking, bro. You know who's coming out next year? Sacramento is a weird team. I didn't think we'd be talking about Sacramento that much. Let me see. My man Mellow Mike says, because if he doesn't, let me see. Salute. He said, the league, let me see. Ja Morant needs to change the scenery more than anything. He needs a veteran mentor to be alongside him. Facts. To be kind of guide him not to get into himself, into trouble, and to be a true professional. You think KD is that guy? I'm curious to know if KD is that guy. But I'll take a couple of more calls. 646-995-8389. We're talking about Ja Morant. We could talk about Luka if you want. Is he a crybaby? We could talk about Giannis trades. I mean, there's so much going on in the league. Jonathan Kuminga, we didn't talk about him. He asked for a trade. And, Steve Kerr, man, wacky lineups. I don't know. But big time salute to everybody in the building. Big time salute to my man Randu in the building as well. I don't know. Oh, by the way, I didn't even show y'all this trade. Let me put this on the screen. This is what I did for the Houston trade. And the problem with the deal is Houston would have 12 players and they would need more players to be in compliance. So what could happen, they could get a third team involved that would give up players for Finley Smith. I don't feel like doing that's a lot of GM work right there. But they could trade Dorian Finney to another team that could give up maybe some second round picks or something like that. And like 2 players. Like, so if they could get 2 players for Finley Smith, and they don't got to be the best players. It could just be like Kevin Love or something like that. And somebody that can absorb the salary too. But I just wanted to show you I tried to do the trade, and you could do it, but you can't do it because Finley Smith would veto the trade, and they wouldn't have enough players. And then Memphis would have to. So that's why you would have to get another team involved. Mellow Mike said it's someone, John, someone that has the respect for whether it's KD or any other player in this league, as long as he respects them. You respecting KD. You gotta respect KD. But I don't know. I don't know where Ja's gonna go. I mean, when you look at the standings, Phoenix got a point guard now. Golden State still got Steph. Clippers got Harden. Ooh, dude, Oh, hold on. Let's pull up the Clippers. Hold up. Let's pull up the Clippers, man. Let's see if the Clippers are willing to do this. You know what I'm saying? They desperate right now. They going through lawsuits. Bomber is trying to get the lawsuit dismissed. You know what I'm saying? Like, LA is LA, you know what I'm saying? Flew to the West Coast. It's LA out there. They got money. They got money and they got LA. So let's see if LA and Memphis could get a deal done. Let's see if they could get a deal done, man. So if we do I don't know. Hold up. Are they locked at any aprons? Let's see if they locked at any aprons. See, they locked at that first apron. That means they only got $1 million wiggle room. They got the same problem Houston got. It'll be very difficult for the, let's see. Yeah, it'll be very difficult for the Clippers to do a trade without trading players they like. Like John Collins, I don't think the Clippers would trade John Collins. But maybe they might. Maybe they might. Maybe they would trade John Collins for Ja Morant. I don't know. They're not trading Zubac. They do got Bogdan Bogdanovic. Derrick Jones Jr., who's hurt. Let's see if we can, let's look at Derrick Jones Jr.'s salary. Hold on, let me go here. Derrick Jones Jr. Let's see. Okay, $10 million. All right, hold up. So if they got rid of Derrick Jones Jr. and Bogdan, that's $26 million. They would need an additional $40 million. No, it would have to be, they would have to get a third team. Yeah, they would have, maybe Bradley Beal. Well, do they move off of Bradley Beal, give them a bunch of injured players? Derrick Jones, Bradley Beal. Derrick Jones, Bradley Beal. Let's add them. Hold on, let's add them. Derrick Jones. Let's do Bogdan. And let's do, because you're still short. Do you give, oh no, Batum could veto a deal. I don't know, man. They would have to add John Collins to the deal. I don't know if you want to trade John Collins. But let's say, all right, so let's say they say, okay, we want to trade John Collins. Then they could literally do this. Buy John and Collins with Ja Morant. Are the Clippers that desperate? Are the Clippers that desperate? Trade successful. And then Memphis would have to waive one player. Oh, and then the Clippers are good. The Clippers got enough players. How y'all feel about this deal? You think the Clippers will feel like that's too much for Ja Morant? Get a young star to put with Kawhi and Harden. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Let me. I want to see Collins' contract really quickly though. I don't know. Do you want to? Well, I mean, honestly, can he veto the trade? Nah, I don't think he got veto power. Let me see. Hold on, let me see if he could veto the deal. Nah, he can't veto the deal. You could do this deal. Because Collins only got 1 year on his deal. Collins is out of there. Ooh, BS10258 says KD doesn't come across as an alpha. I agree with you. By the way, in my fantasy league, my channel members fantasy league, it's called the Knicks Tape Madness Cup. Me and BS10258, we're engaged in a heated battle. I'm mad. I left 100 points on the table. That's the only reason why he's up right now. But I'm gonna smoke him today. I mean, every time me and him go at it, it goes down to the wire. So it's good to see you, BS10258. This is one deal that could happen. Seriously. Like the Clippers could do this. I just don't know how they feel about John Collins. And do they got a backup power forward? They'll be small again. Maybe they could flip Bojan to another team to get a power forward and just send Collins to the Memphis for Ja Morant. I don't know. But final call for calls as we get ready to shut this down. I like this. I like talking about the NBA on Saturdays. Next time I will give you guys more, notification. I kind of like just I said it on shows, but I didn't schedule it. And I just wanted to test it out just to see how the flow of the show would go. And I like it. We talk about some hot topics. You could talk about your team. And yeah, we're going to get these guys to call in from these other teams. Hello, Randall. What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's going on?
Just here talking about the NBA. You know, we talking about Ja Morant. Is he cooked? Why won't teams trade for him?
Right.
We could talk about Kumunga. What you want to go? Where you want to go?
I've heard some trade rumors recently.
Okay.
But there is one trade rumor that I have heard recently that I think would be a good fit for the Knicks.
Okay. What's that? Let's talk about it.
Trading Yabu, Dadier, and Shamit for Najee Marshall.
Ooh. Let's do that. Let's put that on the let's put that in the machine. Only problem we have is kind of similar to the problem that these other teams have, because we're so close to the hard cap. Like, we're real close. Like, we only got like maybe 100,000 in space, right? So we would have to be very creative to try to find a third team that can give us two players, because we won't be able to replicate losing those two players. But who you said again? You said for Najee Marshall, right?
Yeah.
So look, I'm pulling that up on the machine right now. And you said Yabu, Combe, Yabu, Combe, and who's the other guy again? Shamit. The
The
Dallas.
reason why I think Marshall is a good fit, because for one, he's not really all that as a three-point shooter, but he can attack the basket.
Facts.
Plus points in the paint, is which can help the Knicks, and he's a good defender. Something else that can help the Knicks.
Right. Now, here's an issue they're saying with the trade. I got it on the screen. It says that trade fails. You're not under the allowable income by 1 million. So in order for it to pass, we gotta relinquish. We have to add more salary to the deal. So that's the reason why the deal wouldn't work. It says here, outgoing cap 10.6, incoming cap 10.6. Incoming cap 9 million. Cap difference 1.6. It passes on our end, but it fails on the Mavericks end, because they are hard capped at the first apron as well. So that's another obstacle. Like, that damn aprons, man. The aprons are, it would prevent. I think that's part of the reason why you're not seeing a lot of deals done too, because certain teams have only short space. Like when you look at the Dallas Mavericks, they're hard capped at that second apron, so they can't enter it.
Right.
So we would have to get a third team that could absorb like Shamit's salary. So, or like, we would have to find a third team that wants Shamit and could absorb the salary. And then, but then we still though would have to add two players. So, it could get done, but Leon Rose has to be very creative. Very creative. But I like Najee Marshall. He's definitely somebody who I think he can help us. You know, I'm gonna pull him up on the screen so people could see his stats. If you're not familiar with him, he's a ball player, bro. He always cooks us. So, you know, he's averaging 14 points a game. Like Randall said, 3-point percentage ain't there, but he's a ball player, bro. 6'6". See, now you getting in my height. See, 6'6". Now we talking. He plays small forward. Yeah. Now we talking, Randall. This is a good trade, but we got to be creative. Got to be creative. So what do you think about the game tonight? You think we get a bounce back win?
I hope so.
Me too. I'm praying. I'm praying Brunson can play, but honestly, if he can't, let him rest.
Yeah.
Don't rush it. You know what I'm saying? The sprain is not that bad though, but it is on the same ankle. But it's not. We've seen this before. This is not like something we've never seen before. We've seen guys get the ankle hurt twice. Yeah. But anything else around the league catch your eye? What else is going on? I mean, you got Kuminga. You know, the Milwaukee Bucks keep losing. Does that increase the Knicks' chances of getting Giannis? It's a lot. He's booing the fans in Milwaukee. I don't know. I don't know.
A lot could happen, you know what I'm saying, in the next 2 weeks.
100%.
1, 2, next 3 weeks.
Next 3 weeks, we still got a little bit of time for that deadline. So I think teams is navigating the apron politics right now, and they're trying to see what third teams they can realistically get involved. If you can get a team that could absorb salary, it'll make a deal a lot easier because a lot of these teams, are hard cap, man. They hard cap you at these aprons to try to, make sure, because teams were exploiting the system they felt. So they did this to make it a more level playing field, And honestly, I think that it's killing us because if we didn't have these rules, I guarantee you that we would have 2 more players that would be really good, but we can't get them because of apron rules.
Right.
Yeah. Because we would spend the money on quality talent, but when you got an apron that's telling you can't go above this number, now you got to cut guys, you got to trade guys, and it's teams with space though. You got teams that have apron space, but do they have cap space? What's the cap? The cap is hold on. Trying to figure out what the cap is. I don't remember off the top of the head. I'm gonna get it. Okay, what else you got?
Also,
on the way out.
I would like Tari Eason being on the Knicks, but the only thing with that is he gonna be a free agent this summer.
Yeah, you're gonna have to pay him.
Sign him.
They could sign him, but okay. So here's how it works. If you do a deal for Giannis over the summer, you're going to be hard capped at that second apron. I talked about this in my Unfiltered Thought channel member video, right? So if you trade for Giannis, you're going to be hard capped at that second apron. That means that's a number you can't go over. That means you're going to have to trade a lot more to get Giannis over the summer because you're going to have to free up more money to get players. So like, let's say you trade Towns and whoever, I don't give a damn, whoever the other player is, right? You're then going to have to get creative because you're going to be hard capped at the second apron. So you're going to have to trade Bridges for like 3 players because you're not going to be able to sign 3 players because you only have about 9 or 8 guys under contract and you're going to be right at that apron limit. Like you may get $4, $5, $6 million. That's not going to be enough to build a team. So it's going to cost you more salary, or Leon's going to have to be more creative in his ability to do that. So really quickly, I just want to see what the cap room is so I could tell you some teams that have space. So the cap maximum is 154. Let's see how many teams is over 154. Okay, you got Brooklyn, right? I'm not sure Brooklyn's going to help you out like that. You got Brooklyn and Utah. I don't know if Utah going to help you out like that. Charlotte is gone, y'all.
Hell no.
Hell no. So those are the only teams that have cap space. And you have to convince them to take that salary for you. Good luck. That's why the deals are not getting done. But any final thoughts? We got a big game. I will be back tonight for the post-game call-up show on the Knicks side of things. Anything else you would like to share with the people?
That's about it right now.
Okay, Randall. I appreciate you, brother.
Same here.
All right, big time salute.
Later.
All right. So NBA Saturdays, this was a good show, man. Big time salute to everybody who tuned in. On the way out, let's just take a look at some more messages.
Most basketball fans watch games and talk loud, but they're not really seeing anything. They're reacting. They're repeating what they heard. They're not analyzing. They're not breaking it down. You want to be different? 82 nights. Over 200 pages where you document what you actually see. Break down rotations, track patterns, game to game, highlight the players making moves. When you put it on paper, you start seeing what actual fans miss. Your predictions improve, your insights get sharper, your basketball understanding jumps. You stop sounding like everyone else and you start speaking from knowledge. That's what this channel is about. That's what 82 Nights is about. Link in chat. Elevate your game now.
82 Nights, the official basketball intelligence system. You can get it via my link tree right now. Link in the description, link in the chat. No matter what your team is, you can use this system. This is not a Knicks journal. It's not none of this could be used for any team. So go get your copy now. Big time salute to everybody that was in the building. NBA Saturdays, my man BS10258. Mellow Mike, great to see you, Mellow Mike. Hopefully everything is good with you in the new year. Nice to see you. Big time salute to my man Randu for calling up and Moses for calling up. My man Zach, first one in the building. I appreciate you, Zach. Of course, the great Maxine, the executive producer of the century. My man Tony and everybody else, JM3, everybody else that tuned in. I appreciate all y'all. We'll be back again next week. I'll let you guys know the time in advance, and I'm going to start scheduling shows in advance so you guys can see exactly when we'll be going live, all right? But I appreciate all you guys, and until next time, damn, I can't say I can say it. Until next time, let's go Knicks, but we also love the NBA. I'm out.